Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodhanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodhanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Okay, Haribol devotees, welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. And of course, happy Kartik to everyone. The start of the very glorious Kartik month, so it's a very exciting time, and we're feeling very blessed to be here in Sri Gitanagari Dham, where, of course, the presiding deity is Radha and Damodar, which, as I'll explain later, are both the presiding they were reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29, verse number 51. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Okay, so again, 4:29:51. Okay, so I'll read through the Sanskrit, and also today's class will end at 7:45 because of the Kartik program, and then I'm hoping at least some of these great personalities I see on the screen will be joining us in the temple room to sing, of course, the Shri Shri Damodar Astaka. Okay, so Sanskrit reads as follows: Savai priyatamas chatma yatona bhayam anvapi iti veda navai vidvan yo vidvan saguru hari. Word for translation: Sa hi, by, certainly, priyatama, the most dear, cha, also, atma, super soul, yata, from whom, na, never, bhayam, fear, anu, little, api, even, ti, thus, vid, knows, sa hi, by, certainly, vidvan, educated, ya, he who, vidvan, educated, sa hi, Guru, spiritual master, Hari, non-different from the Lord. Translation: One who is engaged in devotional service has not the least fear in material existence. This is because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supersoul and friend of everyone. One who knows this secret is actually educated, and one thus educated can become the spiritual master of the world. One who is actually bona fide, one who is an actually bona fide spiritual master. Purport: Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Sakshadari Twena Samasta Sashtre Uktastata Bhavyata Eva Sabdi. The spiritual master is described in every scripture as the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The spiritual master is accepted as identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he is the most confidential servant of the Lord. Kintu praborya priya eva tasya. The purport is that both the super soul and the individual soul are very dear to everyone. The purport is that both the super soul and the individual soul are very dear to everyone. Everyone loves himself, and when he becomes more advanced, he loves the super soul also. A person who is self-realized does not recommend the worship of anyone but the super soul. He knows that to worship the demigods he knows that to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead is easier than to worship various demigods under the influence of lust and desire for material advancement, material enjoyment. The devotee is therefore always engaged in the loving devotional service of the Lord. Such a person is a true guru. In the Padma Purana, it is said, Satkamani Pano Vipro Manta Tanta Visadada Vaishnava Guru Nasyad Vaishnava Swa Pacho Guru. Quote, even if a Brahmana is very learned in Vedic scriptures and knows the 6 occupational duties of a Brahmana, he cannot become a guru or a spiritual master unless he is a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, if one is born in a family of dog eaters, but is a pure devotee of the Lord, he can become a spiritual master. The conclusion is that one cannot become a spiritual master unless he is a pure devotee of the Lord. One who is a spiritual master, in accordance with the above descriptions of devotional service, is to be understood to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead personally present. According to the words mentioned here, Guru Hari, consulting a bona fide spiritual master means consulting the Supreme Personality of Godhead personally. One should therefore take shelter of such a bona fide spiritual master. Success in life means accepting a spiritual master who knows Krishna as the Supreme Beloved Personality. One should worship such a confidential devotee of the Lord. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shah Shri Rupam Sahajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Sha Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so once again, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Kartik month, and I'll speak a few things about that after. But of course, Kartik is a very, okay, I guess I just lied because I'll say a few things before, just to maybe set the mood a little for the Bhagavatam class. And yeah, of course, Kartik is a very special month. And I just read in the Padma Purana stated that something to the effect that devotional service is very hard to achieve, but if one performs devotional service in this month, then Krishna is more likely to bestow devotional service on one. So that's why it's stressed. And of course, there's so many benefits, like I believe even I've heard 1,000 times the benefit by engaging in devotional service in this month. So it's a very kind of spiritually lucrative time to be engaging in devotional service. And I just heard, His Holiness Jaipata Maharaj, he says that, okay, of course, because for Kartik, it's recommended to do these various things: wake up early, take a bath in a holy place, in a holy river, and see the deities like this. Be awake during the Brahma Muhurta hour during spiritual practice. So if you start reading down this list, then you start actually seeing, oh well, this is kind of not much different than what I usually do anyways. And The explanation that Maharaj gives, His Holiness Jaipataka Maharaj, is that, these things are presented as like a sale. Like, okay, when there's a sale in a store, come engage in this activity and come purchase things here, and we'll give you a discount. And one of the motives, of course, is that the store, the business, wants to get more customers. So by kind of giving them an entry offer, then hopefully that person will become a customer. So similarly, these things are here, these things are there, so that people will say, okay, yeah, let me come to the store of bhakti and engage in some devotional service for this month, because there's a very special deal. So it's, according to Maharaj, it's for new people, it's especially significant, all these offers. But the thing is, as devotees, we engage in these things every day. Rising early, worshiping the deities, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, listening to Srimad Bhagavatam class, offering all our food to the Lord, and honoring the prasadam. So the reason I'm bringing this up is Bhagavatam class is also, it's a very important aspect of our process. As the verse says, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Nasta Prayashu Bhadashu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhagavati Naistaki. That by listening to the Bhagavatam constantly, then everything that's inauspicious within the heart is almost completely vanquished. So if you ever think about yourself and you think, I wish I didn't have this bad quality, or I wish I didn't have this bad habit. Well, first of all, you're not alone. And second of all, by listening to Bhagavatam class, you are getting rid of these things. You're doing the deep spring cleaning, or fall cleaning, winter cleaning. Because this is the process. There's another verse, Satam, no. The other verse, which says, hopefully I'll remember the Sanskrit after I say it. By hearing of the pastimes and narration of the Lord, he destroys everything which is undesirable in the heart. Sorry, that was a pretty bad translation, but you get the gist. That listening to the pastimes and activities of the Lord is a very auspicious activity, and itself is very meritorious. And by doing it, Krishna personally within the heart will cleanse the unwanted things. And as my Guru Maharaj says, that Krishna is not lazy, so he will do his part. We just have to do our part. Like I heard Nagaraj Nitai Prabhu telling his mom recently that God helps those who help themselves. So yeah, God will help us. We just have to take a nice helping of our dose. We have to do our part, and our part is listening to the topics related to the Lord. So congratulations, you're doing a very meritorious thing now today at this moment, and especially during Kartik month, you will get special benefit for it. Even with a very imperfect speaker as myself, but I'm just praying I can be a divine medium of the pure transcendental sound vibration. Okay, so yeah, today's verse is, I'll read the translation again. One who is engaged in devotional service One who is engaged in devotional service has not the least fear in material existence. This is because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the super soul and friend of everyone. One who knows this secret is actually educated, and one thus educated can become the spiritual master of the world. One who is an actually bona fide spiritual master, representative of Krishna, is not different from Krishna. So one who is engaged in devotional service of the Lord has not the least fear in material existence. So there's a nice verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, I believe it's Prahlad Maharaj is praying to the Lord. He's saying, Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya Namaste Jastejase Avi Avi Baba Vajanakam Vajadam Kamasa Rande Tamo Grasa Om Abham Abham Bhustaha Om Shrom. So it's saying, Oh my Lord, whose nails and teeth are just like thunderbolts, please kindly vanquish this demonic desire for fruitive activities in this world, and please appear in our heart and drive away this ignorance so we may become fearless in this struggle for existence in this material world. The prayer is being made there that, Krishna, please appear in our heart and drive away this ignorance so we may actually become fearless. Because as we know, it's, generally, there's the three modes, of course, we know, and generally ignorance, the qualities of ignorance are, fearfulness, lamentation. Sudra means one who laments, constantly laments. Procrastination and laziness, all this stuff. And fear, like I said, fearfulness. These are all the qualities of ignorance. Dreaming nice ideas, but it stops there. The dream doesn't become a reality. So things like this, these are the qualities of the mode of ignorance. Where it's said, Brahmana is progressive. Like the Sudra will lament, oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. But for the Brahmana, he is progressive. He thinks, okay, well, this is bad, this is wrong, so what am I going to do about it? These qualities of ignorance, they are very detrimental to just living a good, even human life. Your battery is running low, okay. So FYI, if I suddenly disappear, then it's because someone forgot to charge the computer. So you can imagine if you're in a room, if you're in a dark room, then it's a very fearful situation because you lack knowledge of what's actually going on. But then if, like we have that sometimes here, we have some power outages, I guess something that happens when you're out here in the country. And sometimes the lights will just switch off, and hopefully you have hopefully you know where your cell phone is, or you have some little light you can easily grab, because it's a very fearful situation, darkness. But when the lights come back on, then things are illuminated and the fear is gone. So this is why we say Om Jnana Timirandasya, right? This prayer, we say that our spiritual master has opened our eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. Because the Guru reveals to us what actually is this material world. What is the material world, and how do I get out of it? How do I ultimately get out of this scary situation? because actually Prabhupada describes the fearful situation of this world. He characterizes it as gliding the most. What is it? The fearful situation is having to take a form in a lower birth. So this is very fearful, but the Guru has come and given us knowledge so that we can ultimately know the means to escape this. One who engages in devotional service has not the least fear in material existence. This is because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the super soul and friend of everyone. One who knows this secret is actually educated, and one thus educated can become the spiritual master of the world. One who is actually the bona fide spiritual master, representative of Krishna, is not different from Krishna. So as my old Sankirtan leader used to say, that when he was in front of his guru or his Diksha guru or his Shiksha guru, he'd be thinking that, he would be imagining that this is the four-handed form of Vishnu is right in front of him. And imagine having that consciousness. Whenever you're in front of the spiritual master, you can just imagine this is actually whatever. If you want to imagine four-handed Vishnu like he did, okay. But whatever. If you want to imagine him with a flute like that, then you can also do that to your liking. Of course, you shouldn't think that the spiritual master is Krishna. Like I just read a quote from Prabhupada who's saying that, to think that the spiritual master is Krishna means that now if I become a spiritual master, then now I am Krishna. And this is not our philosophy. I think Prabhupada said, this is Mayavad, this is impersonalism, thinking that, okay, I have this material form because I'm conditioned, as they say. They give these examples, the pot, the air in the pot, when the pot is gone, then the air in the pot merges with the air, with the bigger pot. In other words, we become God. So no, that's not our philosophy. And of course, we know when devotees were saying, when Prabhupada was here, some devotees were starting to preach, Prabhupada actually is God. Then Prabhupada sent them out to each open a temple as their punishment. So of course, benefited from that. But Prabhupada was making the point that don't make this mistake. This is not our philosophy that the Guru is God, but he should be worshipped as good as God. And why is that? Because he is representing God. So, like as Prabhupada is alluding to here, that it doesn't matter what one was born as. Like the common example is Haridas Thakur. He is born in the family of Muslims, and even he was rebuked. What the Muslim community, they were saying, well, why have you become a Hindu? You were born in this great fortunate birth as as a Muslim. You were born as a Muslim, but now you become a Hindu. That's not very good. And Haridas Thakur said, well, so many Hindus are becoming Muslim, so what's the problem if one Muslim becomes a Hindu? What's the loss? And so he's the common example because he became the acharya of chanting the holy name of the Yuga Dharma. So, and he's personally deemed this by Lord Chaitanya himself. So, birth is not the disqualification. The disqualification or qualification. The qualification is, as there's this verse. I don't know it. Sorry, but maybe if someone knows it, they can post it. That it's say tattva ho. God. Pretty much the verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita is saying that if it doesn't matter what one's birth is, the qualification to become a guru is to know the science of God. So by knowing the science, then you become a capable instrument of teaching the science to others, imparting that knowledge, imparting that wisdom. And of course, Krishna is empowering within these devotees who are acquainted with the science of Krishna. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, that one who is constantly engaged in worshiping with love, to them I reveal knowledge from within, how they can come back to me. So this is the potency of the devotee, of the matpada. The devotee always engaged in devotional service, is that Krishna begins to actually guide the devotee within. And I remember one time I was asking my spiritual master about authorities. Of course, this was before I was here at this temple, so in case any of the authorities here are listening. But I was wondering, like how much do I accept my temple president's words as kind of like the absolute truth? Do I place them on the same level as I place the words of my spiritual master, or of the Vedas of Prabhupada? And my Guru Maharaj said, well, that depends on their purity. Based on their purity, then they will be able to give the message of God. Because with that purity comes clarity, comes the thing is that we're contaminated by these lower qualities, and because of them, our vision, our power to discriminate, our power to advise, will be tainted with these lower natures. Lust, anger, greed, envy, madness, and illusion. But when one is cleared of these, as there's actually a verse in the Bhagavad Gita that says that once one becomes tranquil in mind, peaceful in mind, then he is actually in constant contact with the Lord, like this. He can actually communicate with the Lord, but because busy now, then like here at Gita Nagari, our internet's often impaired by the tree line here. And so similarly, if our internet connection is blocked by the tree line of anarthas, then we actually we can't be directly in contact with the super soul. So the spiritual master principle is very, very important, obviously, in our spiritual life, because if we're left to our own devices, we make all kinds of bad decisions. Hence why we're here in the material world in the first place. But just by surrendering unto the spiritual master, then one can actually gain all perfection. And how do I know that? This is a bold statement. I should probably back it up with some shastra. Well, Krishna says, Sarva Dhamma Pratyaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Ham Tam Sarvapapyo Mokshe Srimasuja. Yes, surrender unto me, and I will give up all other occupational duties and surrender unto me, and thus I will free you from all fear. Do not worry. Thank you, Tarika Prabhu. Yeah, if anyone, a nice verse in the purport, in the chat. So Krishna is saying, surrender unto me, like that. And then he's saying, in the 434, he's saying, Tadvidhi pranipatena, that just approach a spiritual master, learn from him, render service, inquire submissively like this, and this is how you will know Krishna, like that. So yeah, it's very fortunate. It's very fortunate that one can come in contact with a spiritual master. As we hear sometimes in the Bhagavatam, that when these devotees would come in contact with, like, a great sage, they would often say praises like, it's just exclaiming how fortunate it was for them to actually come in contact with such a devotee. And yeah, Bhagavad Gita even says, Manusyanam sahasrishu kashit yatedi sire yatanam abhisiranam kashit mam vedi tadvadaha. So Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that out of thousands among people, one may endeavor for perfection, and out of those who have attained perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. So it's very rare for one to even kind of endeavor for something beyond just worldly pleasures. So if you've done that, congratulations. You're awesome. Okay. Now, if you've actually attained perfection, you've actually attained liberation, then 2 thumbs up to you. You're double awesome. But now, if you've attained liberation, or even, now it's saying that your battery is very low. But even if